Hi and welcome to our St Martin's Centre Business Development Plan. I'm Sophie, this is Lauren, this is Morven and this is Becca, and today we're going to discuss our recommendations for St Martin's Centre. This is our contents page in case you need to refer back to anything that we discussed during our presentation. Here are the four main criteria that we will be focusing on in our project for St Martin's, which they have asked us to focus on. Primary research was very important to us as we did not want to be subject to any bias and we wanted to go and visit the site for ourselves. Here is a few photos of the day when we went to visit and what we found. The two main strengths of primary research that we found when we visited the site is that they have a special of the week which they rotate on a regular basis. However, the majority of the menu stays the same all year round. They also offer a lot of services and events for the whole of the community, ranging from the youngest to the oldest, which we found was very important. Two main improvements that we did notice is that there was a gap in services and events for the youth, especially 12 to 18-year-olds. We also found from the Northumbrian discussion board that not all the rooms were being hired enough on a regular basis.
Here on the slide we have highlighted the funding amounts they receive in their most recent financial overview, which shows in trading activities which raise incomes from the fundraising events, cafe incomes, nursery incomes and contributions from other groups. We've also put on who their funders are, and they currently have total funds of £111,336, with Sure Start being their greatest funder. From this, we've come up with a recommendation that they need to invest more time into gathering more funding. This can be done through the natural lottery funding or from contacting local individuals as well as businesses, as businesses would be interested in this because they can use it for their CSR as well as their USP point. However, we've also taken into account there can be some problems, such as grants may be declined. Therefore, St Martin's need to make sure they don't just rely on one place for funding, as well as they need to create good relationships so they know that the people they're getting the funding from is the right place.
Research shows that websites and charities need to include information about their services and be appealing to customers. As you can see on St Martin's service page, it's very basic and includes a lot of blank space. To combat this, we recommend updating the website to make it user-friendly. To achieve this, we can fill the blank space with pictures and small amounts of text to explain the events and entice customers to click on it. We can also use this on the homepage by promoting seasonal events rather than just the yearly events, such as Christmas parties including photos from last year and prices. Sources show that if customers can't find you online, then they'll revert to a competitor. Therefore, we looked at the importance of being on the first page of Google search, as 75% of searches don't go further than the first page. We also found that it's important to use strong photography and advertising, as it can make a campaign be changed from being okay to being very effective. This is an example of a professional photograph took by Dasmark, a local Newcastle photographer. Due to this, we recommend St Martin's to promote the catering service on the website. To achieve this, it could add an additional page for the catering services, which would include typical menu items and price per head. We also recommend that they include quality photographs, as we discussed the benefits before, and they could source out local photographers such as Dasmark, who charges £175 for 1.5 hour shoot on site. Due to the cost being involved to implement this, we recommend using funding from suggested methods for the initial investment. However, in the long term, it's likely the benefits of these photographs are likely to outweigh the initial cost, as they will attract more customers and gain more revenue. Our final website recommendation is to improve Google search ranking. You can do this through a number of ways, such as telling Google keywords such as catering and your location Newcastle, as you will appear in searches for catering companies in Newcastle. It's also important to make your website mobile compatible, as Google algorithms increase your ranking if your website is mobile compatible. The third way to do this is to create a Google My Business listing, which is a free method to get your business on Google Maps, as well as creating a business panel when searched for, which shows things such as location, contact details.
Social media is a relevant, cost-efficient way businesses can promote themselves and keep in touch with customers. Twitter is worthwhile as it creates buzz, sales and consumer insights. The younger generation, the demographic St Martin's do not focus on, could be drawn in this way and create a new sector for St Martin's. Secondary research shows St Martin's have a Twitter which hasn't been active since July 2012. This affects them as in 2012 there was only 138 million users compared to 330 million users in 2019. This shows that they could have increased their followers and consumer relationships. The Avenue Cafe uses Instagram regularly, however the photos are pure quality and the hashtags are not used to their full potentials. 60% of people discover new products on Instagram, with 1/3 of the most viewed stories being from businesses. This could be a good way to promote businesses for free. Facebook has 1,723 likes, so it's currently effective. Radio ads would be an effective way of advertising. For the metro station to play 2 ads a week for 4 weeks lasting 2 minutes would cost £500. Using recommended funding to promote the catering service will increase demand. They currently use leaflets, but they should not be used as they are not cost effective.
We also conducted a SWOT analysis on St Martin's, as Johnson et al. Believes a SWOT strengthens a business by reviewing its own weaknesses and threats, yet being able to overcome them.
The strength of St Martin's is, unlike many places in the area, they offer activities for elderly, mum and toddlers and families alongside the cafe and catering. It is very accessible as it is in the centre of Byker and benefits the community as a whole, as it offers support for those suffering with loneliness, stopping smoking, money advice and counselling, as well as struggling youths by holding advice for getting into work alongside offering jobs in the cafe.
The weaknesses that we have addressed for St Martin's Centre is the significant gap in the market for teenagers, which may be putting them at competitive disadvantage, as well as their lack of funding, which we have already spoke about previously, and their lack of advertisement. The opportunities available for St Martin's is targeting teenagers. We believe this will increase profits as more events will generate income. We have also stated that expanding the cafe services will also be a huge opportunity.
Some threats St Martin's face is there are many centres in every village across Newcastle. This could sway people to go to different areas if they offer different activities. The catering industry is extremely hard to enter, as people in similar areas all use the same services.
We also did research into St Martin's target market. Having a target market allows the organisation to direct its products/services to the right customers, therefore increasing higher sales. From the research into St Martin's target market, we noted a significant gap for teenagers aged 12 to 18 years old, as there are not many events or services tailored to this age.
Our target market recommendation is that we would like to introduce a new event for ages 12 to 19, costing £1 per person, to bring in your own DVD and watch them in rooms that aren't being hired or in quiet periods. This could be done on a weekly rotation or a monthly rotation. This could then expand St Martin's catering service so they could sell refreshments from the Avenue Cafe to watch the movie with. Our mitigation plan includes that we know that not all staff and volunteers at St Martin's might be flexible all the time, so we said that we would run this event on a basis that would suit them, e.g. in school holidays or during the day. We've also taken into account that the fact of lack of spreading the word about the new event, as their social media isn't that great right now. However, with our recommendations, we have advised that if they update their social media and Facebook, this may improve engagement with potential customers and improve events.
We also did a competitor analysis of catering companies, as this is the area St Martin's want to expand. We looked at budget and high-end caterers, including Jackson's, King's and Jacob and Tory. What they all have in common is they include high-quality photos and price lists and menu items, as we recommend St Martin's should as well.
We found it was important to conduct a competitor analysis, as it is a main driver of an organisation's strategy and how a firm reacts in their industry. A competitor analysis is used to measure and assess its standing amongst other competitors.
This is a recommendation to improve the demand for St Martin's contract catering, which is one of their aims. The catering market demand is increasing. Total consumer expenditure on food, drink and catering continued to rise by 6.1% in 2017 to 219 billion. This will be beneficial for St Martin's to want to grow in the market, as it is relevant and rapidly growing. St Martin's, through the Avenue Cafe, currently cater for lunch clubs within the centre, and to diversify income have recently launched buffets. To further expand the services and attract ethical customers, St Martin's Centre could use all locally sourced products and advertise this through social media platforms. They will achieve this by word of mouth from hosting coffee mornings and open days, spreading the word. It may take a couple of months to spread the business, however, it is a long-term investment and will pay off one customer.
Here's the overview of our recommendations in case you need to refer back to them at any point. All of our recommendations are SMART recommendations, and we have found it is important to set both short-term and long-term recommendations. Please refer back to our executive summary for any more guidance on what we have discussed during our presentation. Here is our references from our presentation, and thank you for listening to our presentation.